So I'm just gonna go live like 2 minutes, just a little early, just to get some engagement going um, before we get started. So I hope everybody's doing well. Everybody's enjoying their Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you guys. So I have a topic for you guys. I feel like many will be able to relate to this. Okay. And I'm also gonna have some people join me if they would like. I have the link if you guys would like to join the live. Okay, just let me know and I can send you the link. You guys can join the live with me. We can discuss, maybe your experiences around the topic. And yeah, I feel like this will be a good one. Okay. All right. So let me sound the alarm here. All right. So yeah, like this video, y'all. Show some love to the channel. I would greatly appreciate that. Also, if you guys would be so kind to share this with your peoples as well. Let me make sure I can hear myself too. Okay, let me double check if I can hear myself. Give me 1 second. Double check if I can hear myself. Give me 1 second. Double check if I can hear myself. Okay. Double check. It sounds too far away. Double check. It sounds too far away. This is so goofy. Hold on. Why does it keep doing that? Okay. I don't know if this sounds any better. You guys have to let me know. It's echoing because I'm listening to it on my iPad. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I don't want to start until I know my sound is okay. So from the sounds of it, it sounds a little goofy right now. Let's see. I'm gonna try it one more time. Okay. Actually, no, it sounds good. Okay, so let's get started because I don't know what was going on in the beginning. Uh, so let's get started, you guys. All right. I also will be doing a giveaway. If anyone's interested, I will be giving away this Wildwood Tarot deck. I purchased this deck a long time ago, and it's a special deck for one reason mainly because I don't really resonate with this deck. I've never used it. I probably used it twice, I want to say, that I can recall that I've actually done a real reading with this. And it was when I did the triple X Tentacion read, and I think it was one of the cards that like flew out of the deck and jumped at me, and I was freaked out, like, oh shit, child, oh no, you know. And one of the other reasons why this deck is so special to me, one of the main reasons why it's so special to me is my daughter. She was really, really little. And she was like, "Can I give you a reading? Can I read for you?" I don't know how old she was. She had to been like 7, 6 or 7 years old, and has no concept or understanding of the cards at all. And she was reading me. I think I posted it so long ago, but it was, yeah, she was reading me, child. Okay, she was reading me. Um, in her own way, and she was actually reading. Okay, like it was actually hitting. Okay, so I'm gonna get into the topic. The sound is better now, but yeah, if anybody is interested in this deck, I will choose based off of who I'm divinely guided to give the deck to. Okay. Um, only thing is you have to be in the U.S. for me to ship it to you. That's the only restriction with this. But other than that, I do want to give this deck to a new home. I am going to cleanse it and all of that. Like I said, this deck did mean something to me at a point. It's special, and I kept it for so long because I haven't used it in years. This deck is doesn't even look like it's been touched like at all. Like the card quality is excellent. There's no scratches. I'm rough with my decks when I shuffle, so sometimes like the paper is like all bits and folded, and there's no damage to these cards. So they're going to be ready to go to a new home soon. So whomever this deck is meant for, may it find you. I'll get into the giveaway towards the end. And like I said, if anyone wants to request to join me on this live discussion, let me know and I will send you the link and I'll have you come on with me. Okay. Don't be shy, y'all. Everybody's story is important. Everybody's story is relevant and may bless somebody out there. Okay. So let's get into our topic, shall we? Okay. So I want to talk about the deeper reason why chosen ones, typically people that have purposes and callings in their life, why they are the ones that are typically shunned, um, why they're typically rejected, projected upon by other people. Okay. And this is a wound, but also can be your power. Um, your power meaning like how you can use this as your divine weapon rather than carrying it as a source of trauma and pain or um, some sort of manifestation or a title of not being good enough or never fitting in, like some sort of negative stigma on yourself. Like it's not meant to be carried in that sense. So with chosen ones, I know everybody has a different interpretation, whether that's a biblical interpretation, whether that's a cinematic nod to the Matrix version of it, or this trendy version of special people that just stand out amongst the crowd and they're the star and all this, in my interpretation, what a chosen one is, it's not someone necessarily that is better or this special person amongst other kind, like there's only one. Yes, there's only one you in this world, and that is your superpower because there's no one else like you. And we need individuals, right? We don't need carbon copies. We don't need that. Um, chosen one is someone that is divinely called for a specific purpose, a significant purpose, a divine aligned assignment that not many people say yes to or are called to. When you're chosen, you have to think of yourself as like the eldest child in your family. The eldest child is usually looked upon as the one that should know better, the one that is the responsible one, that is the example for the other siblings. And so, and I can say this as an eldest child because I was the eldest child in my household at least. I do have an older brother, but I didn't grow up with him. As the eldest in my household, I was held to greater responsibility and that I should know better. And sometimes it can feel like you're being picked on at times, but it's like you got to think of it this way: is that I called you because I can entrust what I'm giving you. I can trust that you'll take the tools, even if it's hard sometimes, even if you feel like why me, that it's you're going to handle it. You have the integrity for it. You have the maturity level, or at least the openness to mature and to learn and to grow. Um, so it's kind of like a person that seeks out a certain qualification at a job, and they interview all these different people and they're like, we know that you're the person for the job because you have all of the skill sets and qualifications, and maybe even you're a teachable person. We can work with you, right? So chosen ones have a energy signature of a high purpose and high calling, and it doesn't come without its challenges. It doesn't come without its highs and lows. It doesn't come with um or without rejection, right? So I'll get into that. Let's talk about it, okay? Let's talk about rejection, because I feel like every human being has experienced it, or what at least feels like rejection, because sometimes we can take rejection from a perspective of, if I'm not included in something. And sometimes when you're not included in things, that is actually your blessing, because not every circle, not every community, not every relationship, friendship, opportunity is divinely meant for you or blessed or truly aligned with you. But as humans, it's like people need to feel included in something so that they don't feel excluded. They'll compromise parts of themselves just to fit in. And that's a big problem that a lot of humans have, no matter what age group you are in. That's something that I feel like, if you're not self, like you don't have a relationship with yourself, you're not self identified, you don't love yourself to a degree, you just want to be acknowledged, you just want to fit in, you just want to be accepted, you just want to be validated by everything and everyone outside of you. You will compromise yourself. And with the chosen one, you can't do that. And it's almost like, no matter if you try to do that, there's a part of you that can't fake it. Even if you tried, it feels almost like an ache. It feels like an ache to um try to fit in, you know, um not being your authentic self, holding your tongue. Your soul feels that. The soul feels that ache, like, this is like ick. This does not resonate with me, like this is not me. It just doesn't feel right to your spirit when you try to water down who you are, you know? So let's get into the chosen one's rejection. So with chosen ones, there is always a deeper root and reason to your rejection. Always, right? So the truth is you are this mirror of truth that people often avoid. That's the real reason why. And you can't understand why your light irritates people sometimes, or you the more you study yourself, the more you embrace yourself, the more you go into the deep dark tunnels of you and who you are, to discover who am I, and you look at yourself, you'll start to understand the projections that other people have placed onto you, or that you started to turn against yourself. It's like a house of mirrors, a house of illusions, and you start to believe those illusions, right? Until you look at your true inner self, your true mirror, not what's outside of you. So, oftentimes, what will happen is the energy that you carry, people will be drawn to it, even though they might uh, bend to dislike you at some point, or they can't understand why they still like you but can't stand you at the same time, why they are inspired but also intimidated by you. There's those type of dynamics. So you'll resonate with people. They'll feel magnetized towards you. You'll also be the person that disrupts people's um, illnesses within themselves, their dysfunctions in their life, their the lies that they tell themselves without saying a word. Your energy just does that. It unravels and disrupts things in people, especially those that are unhealed in certain ways, people that are constantly performing for other people, um, those who have fragile self-esteems or egos will definitely be triggered by your energy. And part of the magnetism of you is that there's a rarity to you. You, whether you performed in the past or tried to fit in the past in your life, there's an energy that also, like, you can't fake it. It's like almost a part of you that slips through. Like, you can't keep the mask on. It's like you take it off, you rip it off, or it's just like naturally people can just sense like you're not like us. What are you doing here? And instead of it being like you're not like us, let's embrace something different or see what this person has to offer that maybe can help me as a person. We shun that person away because this person can see something in us that's disruptive, something in us that's unhealed, something in us that is performative. So, that energy of people being drawn to the energy that you radiate, your light, maybe something, a talent that you have, or you're a good friend, or you're a loving, devoted partner, or you're a hard worker, whatever the case may be. Um, you're the mama bear, the papa bear of your family, your friend group. People love that. They love what they can take from. They'll pick and choose what they want to take. It's almost like, let's say kids are trick or treating and there's a basket full of fruit and vegetables for kids to take, and then there's another basket with candy. Most likely, the kids are going to take the candy because it's sugar coated. They're not going to take something that it could taste good. Fruit and vegetables taste good to me, but some people may not prefer that, or it's too bitter, it's too raw, it's too ripe. You don't know what you're going to get out of that, or it could be a taste that you're not familiar with. So I rather not. I rather try something that is sugary, or if it's sour, bitter, like if somebody is in a negative headspace, they know what they're getting when they reach for negative things, sour and bitter things, rather than something that is taught this is good for you. I don't want what's good for me. I want what tastes good. I want what feels good to me, right? Um, so what you'll understand is that your presence is going to trigger people's insecurities within themselves and their ungrounded or their false sense of self, their false sense of security, their false sense of confidence. Because it's a popular saying that people are not jealous of people just because of what they have or what they possess. And you may not understand why people that seem to have everything can still be jealous or envious of a person that doesn't have as much. But they can envy things about your character, how you carry yourself, how you love yourself, how you respect yourself, how you honor yourself, the true inner confidence that you have. They wish they could have that. They wish they can stand in sovereignty, but it's like, no, I got to keep up appearances. No, I got to stay in this dry ass relationship because it's an anchor. It keeps me stable. Um, or I don't want people to look at me as a failure. Again, caring too much about what people think about yourself, right? About you. So people will unconsciously project things onto you, you know? Um, have you guys ever Have you guys ever been in a experience or situation with people that, let's say it's like a group of friends or associates, people that all know each other, and somehow, let's say you have qualifications and skills, like let's say all your friends, your girlfriends or your guy friends, you guys all have something that you're good at, you're gifted in, or you guys all share like a similar interest like art or party planning or um, decorative design or something or catering, right? And you might be really good at what you do, or you might be somebody that can contribute to an event where everyone's planning, they have something. Oh, you're in charge of the food, you're in charge of the social media networking or marketing of this event, and then you're in charge of um, the interior, the decorating, right? And instead of choosing you, they'll go with somebody else. And it's something about your energy that makes other people like feel like I need to step it up or I need to compete. And that makes people uncomfortable to have you around. It's like they could like you to an extent, be like, no, that's a cool person. I got nothing against him or her. But there's something about them. Like you can't wear a mask around you. You see people too much, you know? Um, People might even like the aesthetic of you, but when it comes to the core and the true you, they reject that part. So there might be times where you're not invited. There's been times, and I gotta call this shit out because it is what it is, right? And this is not coming from a place of cockiness. Like I feel like this is a big step for me to even speak about myself in this way, and I feel like everybody should be like their biggest cheerleader and speak over yourself like you know who the fuck you are. So when I say this is not cocking this is a self-realization and honoring and celebration of me, that I know that my gifts are God-given. I take them seriously and I know like I could read a motherfucker down with or without cards, and not read them down like messy or bitty, but like in a way of tapping in and speaking to and through a person that needs it. So there's been times where I'm like, I know I have not just as a messenger, but I have other gifts, healing gifts and abilities, um, different things that I feel like I can bring to a space and community. And there's been times where I know people that know me, know what I do, experience what I've done, and they will not invite me in their little group circles that they have, their little sisterhood events or tarot classes and things like there's been times where I've been excluded, where I feel like why didn't you like hit me up? Like I could have been, but there's this thing of, especially with women, it's so sad, but women have this thing with each other where they want to be the only one that shines, or they want somebody that is equally on their level or lesser than them. They don't want somebody that they feel like they have to, and it's not even like being greater than somebody else, but if a person thinks that about another person, like they think that you're better than them or they think you're going to outshine them, and it's an uncomfortability because it's like I have to be the only one in the room that shines, and that is not how chosen people work. Chosen people know that they are the light and there's other lights walking around, and we want everybody to shine that light because it helps raise the frequency, it helps heal other people. So when you move in that competitive, low vibrational spirit of I can't have somebody else that's better or who I think is better than me. I have to have somebody that's on my level, someone that feeds my ego, somebody that's either lesser than me or thinks that I'm better than them, you know? Or and some of these, and this is what I've learned too in these spiritual community spaces, like some of this stuff is performative. Like the spirituality is extra. It's like it's all for show. It's um extremism. It's also like trauma bonding. So it's not really all about that. It's an aesthetic and it's like a mean girl circle type of essence and energy. So when I look back, it's like I didn't miss out on anything. If I really am honest with myself, I probably wouldn't have wanted to be a part of that because that doesn't resonate with me. Those energies that they're operating in, whether it's trauma bonding, whether it's extremism, whether it's spirituality, um, in a form of narcissism, like just wanting to cling on to something, find some sort of identity to fit into, or classism. Oh, you can't be a part of this. You got to be this. You got to be like that. Like that type of energy, I don't want to be a part of. So I don't want to be a part of none of that. So that leads to the next point that I want to make. The key reasons why people will be triggered, like I said, it's because of um, what you reveal about people where they're not being true and authentic and honest with themselves and with others. So they'll project things onto you that make you feel like you're unworthy, right? Or that, oh, you can't join us, you can't sit with us. So they'll project, onto you from their points of jealousy or their own level of shame. They may even try to, like I said, exclude you, maybe even try to sabotage you, talk down to you. And instead of embracing you, they embrace or support whatever is safer, or people that are safer, people that don't challenge them as much or see them as deeply as maybe you do without trying. Um, so the reason why these things happen is because, again, you expose these hidden insecurities within people without you even trying. That's not your attempt. You're not actively going out of your way to do this. Your natural presence, whether it be your softness, whether it be your gifts, whether it be your intelligence, your inner light at its core, makes people confront what they wish they had or what they're faking to be. Um, they also see your authenticity and feel exposed in their own performance around you. They can't sit comfortably with the mask on because you can see you're wearing a mask where everybody else is wearing a mask and they don't give a fuck that, oh, they wearing a mask, or I'm wearing a mask too. Nobody else cares, right? Um, so they hate how they feel around you because it's reminding them of where they're still lost within themselves. No, not every human has it figured out. We don't have everything figured out to uh to its highest capacity, but there's some that are still trying to survive in their mask and in their performance. They still don't believe that who they are is enough. I wanted to post something, but I'm like, no, this is probably not the right place, not right time. But I wanted to post something and ask people, like, if you didn't have all these fancy titles, all this money, the clothes, the nice bodies, the jewelry, um, the follower counts, the like counts, all this social currency, if you didn't have that, would you still find yourself worthy? Would you still find yourself as lovable or as appealing if you stripped those external things? And I really feel like a lot of people would not. If they were to be honest, if I was to do a poll, I doubt anybody would be that honest with themselves. Um, but that's a real question to ask yourself. That checks where you're at when it comes to how much you actually do love you and fuck with yourself. Because there's going to be seasons where we're the man or the woman, and there's going to be seasons where we're not the man or the woman. Or some spaces people might see us as great, and in some spaces people might not see us as much, right? Or see much in us, or find value in certain things, right? So we strip these things. Do we still believe that we're lovable? Do we still believe that we are a success outside of the world's standards of success? That makes sense. So your truth unmasks a lot of illusions. So you refuse to play the game, right? So you're not begging for acceptance anymore. You're not performing for worthiness. Okay. You're not gossiping to bond or clicking up in as a means to tear other people down. Because people form allegiances because they don't like people, or because they want to create this hierarchy of not everybody can sit with us. You got to have X, Y, and Z. You got to look like this. You got to be like that. That's how some people move in this world. They don't go out to a bar or a club unless the girl looks a certain way. They won't date a certain person unless their friends think this person is approved, good enough, look good enough, has something enough, right? That social currency thing. Um, you are real in a world that bonds over fakery. That triggers people. That's why you're not invited to the parties. You're not always invited to the cookouts, okay? Um, you're not going to always be accepted. And that is a blessing because, again, like, I'm gonna use this as an example. Some people might be offended, but like some people back in the day, like these European times, like they weren't really taking baths like that, or if they were taking baths, they weren't using no soap, they weren't using no essential oils to extract the funk out of them. They just stank, putting on these nice, fancy, big dresses and suits and hats and masks, and they dancing at the party, you know. Art thou Arthur and Mary and Queen this, but funky and stanking, walking around, and they wearing these little masquerades. They walking around just, nobody's admitting that you stank. Oh no, you stank, and maybe they don't know they stank until somebody comes around that's like, knows how to bathe themselves, you know, knows how to cleanse their energy, their aura, their body, extracted with oils and perfumes and things like that. And they come around, they're like, "Ooh, who was that? They smell different." Hmm. And if they just like so oblivious that they stank, they might be like, "Oh, my must is better than this scent over here," even though that scent smells good as fuck. And you're like, "What is that? What you got on?" Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it. Even if it comes off that way, you know? So that in itself makes others intimidated by you because you're not easy to manipulate or control. Or if you come to a place where you accept yourself in that way, you're no longer one that people can intimidate or control anymore or weaponize their exclusion onto you because you see the game now. You understand, and it's like it's not a restriction, it's not a curse, it's not a real rejection. It's protection. It's flattery at the same time too because it's like, oh, okay, well, hmm, I see why y'all don't want me here. Okay, you know. And I'm sure people that have been in bigger spaces or opportunities, maybe like certain industries where there's billionaires involved, and you might have not been included in some of these events or panels and things like that, or you didn't get the job, or you didn't uh, get the position, and you're like, okay, I can see why, because this person is willing to play the game. I am not. People often turn to those that they can control or understand as well. So another thing too is like you can reflect a person's abandonment wound. And what I mean by that is, excuse me, if you carry a divinity about you, an ancestral frequency of maybe like a mother essence, father essence, a healer, a prophetess or a prophet, a seer, um, a medicine energy, a healing energy about you, at first people will cling to you because you'll heal them. You'll spark something in them. That's just what's in your DNA. That's what's in your core essence and your assignment. If your DNA was a code of an assignment of everything inside of you that your DNA strand had, let's say like healer, medicine person, in certain fine print, like what type of healing, what type of medicine you carry, what type of essence you carry. When you start to you open yourself up, or like I said, you'll magnetize people because people are just gonna be drawn. It's what it is. But when you won't self abandon or you won't overgive of yourself, some people's inner child will internalize that as rejection and they'll punish you for that. This goes for certain friendships. Certain friendships can only thrive on bonding of trauma or misfortune or, um, they need that support. And when you take a step back, because as adults, friends, I feel like it's it's natural for friends to live their own lives and catch up because I had this conversation with one of my sisters the other day where we were talking about that every relationship requires a balance of giving and taking. So if you're constantly pouring into people, you're not pouring into yourself. And so that self relationship, the relationship you have with yourself is abandoned, and that's not healthy. Nor is it healthy for you to take away all the time that you can give to others and give it to yourself. That's selfish, right? So you have to have a balance. And with your friendships, with your romantic partnerships, or even your family, if you have business relationships, a connection, your relationship with God, your relationship with your ancestors, you have to pour into them for them to thrive. Will there be times where you don't want to be bothered or you need a time for yourself to reflect, to heal? Because it's not healthy to demand all of your lover's time. It's not healthy to demand all of your friends' time. It's not healthy for you to demand all of your family or your children's time. Like that's selfishness, right? So people get triggered when you, and this is another part of people not wanting to deal with their own healing. They want somebody else to do it for them, and that's never going to happen because nobody can tap in as deeply into you as you can into yourself. Nobody knows you like you know yourself. So a person can give you the tools, But you got to figure out how to put that shit together, right? Or how to take something apart, to dismantle something. The tools will be there for you, but you got to do that work to dismantle or put something or put yourself together. So people resent that. They take it as rejection or punishment when you extract or you take away from something. It's so easy to fall into the trap of fix me, heal me, tell me how to do it, tell me what lies in my future with this whole tarot business thing, like the whole um spiritual guru thing. I feel like it's so overly saturated because it's not about, and it's 3:33 p.m. here. It's not about what you can do for other people. It's what can you do that's going to inspire someone to do for themselves. It's not about being the fixer for other people. You know what I mean? Like if I was a delivery company, if I was Home Depot and you are asking me, okay, I need this such and such tools, I need this paint for this and this and that, all the things that I'm working through or I'm trying to figure out what I need to heal or work on. And as a um, the store, they'll deliver it to you. Like, okay, here's everything that you said that you need. Now it's up to you to take the tools and put the things together that you say that you're working on or that you want to work on. That's what it means to me personally to be a spiritual help or service to somebody. It's not to give them the answer or tell them exactly how to do it. This is like, okay, here's the manual, but it's up to you to take these tools, the instructions that you're giving, the advice, and you figure it out on your own. Because I'm not going to fix it for you. Some people pay people to fix things for them, but that's just not how I operate. I don't do that. Another thing, too, is that you remind people of the love that they never received. That's another reason why people are drawn to you. So they'll punish you for not fixing them, but at the same time, people actually resent that shit, especially when it comes to relationships, romantic relationships. In particular, I feel like with men and women relationships, a man will actually feel a sense of superiority over their partner when a woman gives and gives and gives and gives, even at the expense and the cost of her forgetting herself and loving herself. She'll give all of her time and all of her energy to her man and to her kids and nothing to herself. That man does not respect her. And I'm not shaming any woman. This is just what it is. Would you respect somebody? Be honest with yourself. You can admire the effort. You can even be flattered by the effort, but to respect the person that is over giving themselves, even at the cost of, I'm not going to follow my dreams anymore. I'm not going to upkeep with my health. I'm not going to have a social life or connect with any of my friends. My whole life is dedicated to you and how you feel. Fuck what I feel. I wouldn't respect that. That to me sounds like someone that is a servant. That is not how love works in any kind of connection, not just romantic ones. That's not how. Why would you respect that? You know what I mean? Someone that doesn't prioritize themselves in a healthy way. I just seen a video yesterday of this man, or maybe it was this morning, where this man was talking about how he was talking about race, this whole racial stuff with, oh, this group of women are better than this group of women, this that bullshit. But he was saying that he had this woman of another race that would run his bath water for him, put rose petals in the bathtub, shit that a man. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do things for your man like that, but it's like a man that's worthy of that. I'm never gonna give wifey treatment to another man ever again that's not deserving of that, just to keep him, just to appeal to him. Because what I've learned is that they don't respect you when you do that. They haven't even earned any of that. And it's like you're just giving it to them for free. So why would they respect you? Why would they change for you when you're making it easy for them? So he was bragging about how this woman made him bath water and put roses in it and bathed him. And he said, I kind of felt a little weird about it because I feel like she was babying me, like I was her child. And nonetheless, he never ended up marrying this woman. So all of that performing and overgiving, a person is gonna be flattered by that shit. Don't get me wrong. It feels good. Oh, this person doing this, they're willing to do that for me, and I don't gotta do shit. but you're not going to respect that. There's nothing to work for with that. There's no growth in that. It just promotes complacency. So yes, some people might resent you and say, "Oh, um, how dare you not prioritize my healing, and you take everything and just put up with everything that I got going on," and just some people will be upset that you will not fix them because they don't want to fix themselves. It's easier, and they're going to villainize you for not being that for them. You threaten these false hierarchies too. Spiritually, you walk with authority. You're not walking in ego, but you walk in soul authority. So people who want to be seen as the wise one, or they want to be seen as the baddest or the most successful or the main character, they'll see you as competition, even if you never asked to compete with them. You never asked to compete. You didn't try to compete, you know? Um, there's a woman that I watched earlier today, and she said something that was like her level of intelligence is, I I admire how she breaks things down. So she was saying that women don't compete from their intellect; they compete from their uh, their sexuality. They compete over looks. So if you're pretty, you're already a threat. But if you're pretty and you're smart, that just shifts the whole narrative. I'm paraphrasing, but she's saying that most women will never compete with each other on an intellectual level. And how she stated was that her group of friends, they all challenge each other intellectually because they can learn and grow from each other. They're not looking at one or the other like you're better than me, or she's prettier than me, or this and that, and feeling threatened. The only reason why women compete from a level of beauty standards and looks is because they know how most men operate. Their men go for looks first, right? Beauty is a currency in a lot of ways as well, right? A pretty face over a pretty mind, you know? So women compete based off of attraction level, right? And then even more so if you are kind of a threat to that, if you're not just pretty but you're smart too, or you're not just pretty, you have standards too. You're not just out here dating, you're not willing to settle or whatever. You're a threat to people that need to be the main character, that need to believe that they're the baddest or that they're the prettiest, or you know, they have some sort of leverage over you. That's why you can't be friends with just everybody. That's why you can't work with everybody. That is why you cannot be in a relationship with just anybody. Because I really truly believe that a lot of men believe that women are stupid. And it's partially our fault because we have played stupid for men, whether it's to survive or whether it's to um, capture a man, because we're taught that marriage is important, having babies is most important, not teaching us that self love and self worth is important, that even if you don't have a man, you're still worthy. Like, no one teaches girls that hardly. That's not the majority of teachings for women. So they grow up believing they have to compete for a man, and men are actually, like, I'm not trying to be mean, but like some men, like, they operate differently from women. For one, the things that we prioritize, they do not, and that's just what it is. Half the time, some of these men that people be crying over, thirsting over, they ain't taking showers in days. They don't even wash their feet. When they take a shower, they barely wash their ass. They don't scrub their dick. They don't, they barely brush their teeth. Some of them, you know what I mean? Like, some of them don't have anything intellectually to offer you. You know, they think that their money is enough. Their big dicks are enough. They think that their height is enough, their looks, just basic shit, or how much money they make, or the type of car that they drive, and all. They think that that's enough because some women have set the bar so low to say that that's all I require of you. I don't require your heart or your mind. I don't care about that. It's 4:44 on the time stamp, or 44:44 on the time stamp. So, unfortunately, when you walk in that place of like you know who you are because you love yourself, not because of what you have. And I came across this video. It was an interview with Megan Good, and I loved how she put this. Um, the interviewer, what's his name? Cam Newton interviewed her and asked her, "What makes you that girl?" or something like that, or "How did you know you were that girl?" or something. And she was like, "I'm not saying this out of ego or cockiness, but I've never felt like I wasn't that girl. And it's not because of how much money I have. It's not about my looks, but it's about me as a person, like my character." I'm paraphrasing. Even when, like, there's times where I didn't feel my best, I still knew I was that girl. And that's the type of mentality you have to have. When your beauty, quote unquote, fades, or when people claim that it fades, like the older you get, people say that you're not as attractive, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Aging can be held as something beautiful because you lived your life. You're still living your life. And that in itself is beauty. All the wisdom that you require, you are an elder. So beauty is in the eye of aging is not unattractive. I think women that age are beautiful to me. I love seeing gray hair. I think gray hair is beautiful. I don't look at wrinkles as, oh God, it's a grace, and it's a blessing that you're still living, that you're still here. You have a story to tell. You have life that you're still living. That's beautiful, right? But when the quote unquote the young looks fade, when the body changes and it's not as snatched, or you don't have that money or that car or that status or that title about you, or that high social currency, do you still believe you're that girl or that guy without that, based off of your core inner self? And most people can't say that, because that's not what they base their personality or their truth off of. They base it off of their exterior. Most people can't say that. So, like, where you never ask to compete with other people, they'll push you out. They may gossip about you. They may downplay things about you. Say that, um, different things about you so that they can stay safe on this pedestal or this top level that they want to be on or think that they're on, but it's all falseness. It's not real. Okay. So you threaten the power that they borrowed, but they never earned that. They never earned it. So why the backhanded compliments, why they isolate you, that is how they deal with being drawn to you, but also resenting you at the same time. They want to stay connected to your energy without giving you the dignity of the recognition. And I peep this too. I'm gonna call this shit out because I see it and I don't talk about it all the time. But I notice this with people that I know personally, or people that maybe gravitated towards me. I know for a fact, because I know people do this. I know this for a fact to be true, that people do this to each other or certain people. If you're somebody that, even the closer the better, the closer you are to somebody and you're what they deem is like, you're not faking, you're not performing, you're the real deal. They know you personally. Like a celebrity, they don't know them. So liking and clicking on people that they don't know personally, that seemingly have something that they admire and aspire or wish they could have or to be, they don't mind liking, they don't mind sharing, they don't mind commenting under their posts and, oh, this was so this, because they're not a threat. But the people, even more so, that the family members or the friends or the whoever, the coworkers that you know personally that carry that energy, but you know them personally and they're not faking, that triggers that. And it's like, I'm not supporting you. And that's a way to humble you. Like, I'm not liking your shit. Oh, I'm not sharing your shit. I'm not commenting. I'm not showing up to that. That's all strategic. And that's more so about them than it is about you. It's just you trigger them, but it's already something inside of them that doesn't feel good enough. And you're just the vessel that happens to trigger that in them. Have you ever had friends or a romantic partner that was so enamored by you before they actually knew who you were? Like, before they actually got to know you personally, they were so about you, they liked you. But then once you became human, once they saw that you have flaws, once they saw that you don't play the game, once they saw that you're just as equally human, you go through shit, you're not Superman, you're not Superwoman, that's when they find that moment, that door to tear you down. and try to humble you and tell you, oh, see, you're not that. Oh, I didn't know you were just like, oh, you're not as cool as I thought you were. You're not as glamorous or as handsome or whatever as I thought you were. Hey, Ro, how are you, sis? Because they always saw you as a threat in the beginning. And some people just get close to you to try to figure out, see how you do things, how you operate. Are you really who you say you are? And also, how can I sabotage you? How can I take from you? How can I compete with you? How can I sabotage you in a way or take something from you or distract you? Can't be friends with everybody. So when they go out of their way to stay connected to you without giving you anything, they also isolate you because inclusion would mean surrendering their ego. So if they include you into things, into their folds, or to work with you or to be your friend, or some family members exclude other people based off of favoritism and things like that, if they were to really include you into their fold, that would mean they would have to let go of that ego that says, I have to be the main character. I got to be in control of this. I have to control this person. I have to control that person. Or I have to be the only one that looks like I know everything. Instead of it being like, oh, yes, tell me more. Like, yeah, bring some of your knowledge in with our knowledge. Let's share this shit. Let's bounce off of this. That's not how weak individuals operate. Instead of like, oh, you're pretty. Oh, you're pretty too. Oh, okay, let's be pretty together. Let's celebrate each other. Not just because, oh, you're pretty on the surface, but I like your character. I like your personality. Because this is another thing too. Women that link up with other women that are pretty or they think that other men are going to like, it's because they're trying to get them some too. They trying to find them some dick too, right? So let's all get together and gather together. And that's why most friend groups fall out, because it's always over some dude, some dusty dick dude that probably got not just you, but got this one and got this one over here and ain't worth shit. Probably got a peanut for a fucking brain, a hobosexual, or just, I said hobo, not homo, hobosexual. But they don't have nothing to offer a person. There's nothing about this man that inspires anything positive in you other than just the dick. That's it. And maybe they got a little money or something. I mean, it's something to kind of like give you a reason to put up with bullshit and say, oh, well, he got money though. Okay, whatever floats your boat, sis. Okay. Whatever gets your bills paid, sis. But you cannot be friends or date weak-minded individuals because they are distractions and they will tear you down. That's guaranteed, whether they actively try or it's just natural, because their energy, their frequency is not on the same level as you. How can a person that sees themselves, love themselves, aspire more for themselves, or is real with themselves, be with a person that cannot even face themselves truthfully in the mirror unless this person is putting on expensive cologne or perfume, um, whatever, dressed up, got makeup on, or only if other people are validating them and saying, you're beautiful, you bad, you attractive, or you got all these people in your, like, in your sphere, in your DMs, or you got women chasing you, or you got this amount of money in your bank account. How can you date somebody like that? What can y'all connect and build upon with that type of energy? It's going to repel each other. It's not going to work. The person that sees themselves is going to feel miserable because they're going to self-reflect and say, what the fuck am I doing with this person? But at the same time, if you're an empath, you'll be like, oh, well, I see this person as great and I know that they have the ability to be that. Meanwhile, this other person can't stand you. They admire you but can't fucking stand you because you remind them of everything that they are not or not doing for themselves, and all the pretentious energy. So how can y'all equally become a unit? How can y'all really say that y'all really truly are in a healthy relationship or in a healthy friendship or dynamic or whatever, where it requires you to sell your soul just to be together? That's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's never going to work that way. Why not be with somebody that is soul led just like you, soul to soul, that is on purpose, on mission, that is actively dying to themselves daily, knowing that I can't walk and be this way every day. I have to work through this, rather than saying, oh, fuck it, I'll be a toxic person. They just gonna have to deal with it. Whatever. No. No. So these people, they'll watch you quietly. They'll study your ass. They'll even mimic your ass. Okay, but they refuse to affirm you. They refuse to validate you, and it's not because you need their validation or that you even want it. But it's just the simple principle. They'll affirm and validate everything else that does not trigger them, whatever's safe for them, whatever's not too real for them. Like, oh, that celebrity or that big TikToker, that big Instagrammer, that content creator. I admire them. They're everything that I'm not, but they're not a threat to me because I don't know them personally. They're not too close in my orbit to where we can interact. So they're not a threat. But I guarantee you, if that celebrity let you get close to them and you saw them as human, you see them that they have more to them than that, or maybe you might be disappointed that they're not who you thought they were, then you would hate them. You wouldn't like them anymore as much. That's how humans operate. People have a hard time being fucking human. I noticed that. Being just real and honest that I have human emotions. I have ups and downs. I have days where I'm not feeling good. I have a story where I can have it all 1 minute and the next I might not. People hate being human. So if someone else is human and raw and real with themselves, they hate that. They need something fake because it comforts the ego. It because it challenges. People hate the topic of death because it's inevitable, but it's not something that we find is pretty, and we don't want to admit that that's a part of life. So we parasocialize with celebrities that pass on. Oh, they were such a great person. Oh, they was just the greatest. They was a legend. You don't know them like that. You don't know them. So it's easy to I fantasize and idealize and all of that. People hate fucking being human. That's what I've learned and come to conclude that motherfuckers hate being human. They don't like it. And I get it because that shit is not easy. It's not. It's really not. It's really not. So yeah. Um. So again, people that refuse to affirm you, it's because if they were to truly affirm you, they would have to admit that your energy is real, that you are real, or that your power is real, or that your gifts are real, or that who you say you are is for real. It's the truth. So what spirit wants you to know? If you take anything else from this, okay, you take anything else, because people that don't mince their words or don't sugarcoat or coddle people, they're demonized and villainized and criticized as rude or mean or um like I have many times by some people. Oh, Walu is rude because I don't let you step all over me just for a like or subscription. I'm not going to change something because you told me to change it. This is my platform. You create your own. People hate when you set boundaries too. They want to chop you down because, oh, how dare you? Because it feels like a punishment to them. It feels like you're talking down to them rather than being adult and saying in common sense that says, how am I going to come on another person's shit and tell them how to run it and do it? Very disrespectfully, might I add. So it's projection when people, oh, wow, it was rude. No, you just don't like boundaries. You don't like being held accountable. And a lot of people that just come on here watching people's readings and videos don't contribute nothing to the channel. Some people don't even like the shit, you know, and not saying that everybody has to, but it's just like this disrespect if you just treat people's energy as these 8 ball machines, or you treat people's energies as just disposable, just some quick tarot. I can't say the word uh PORN, but treat it like just spiritual PORN that you can just consume, get off to, and then go on about your day. It's no type of healthy exchange with that. So when people come on and talk shit, I don't give a fuck anymore. You can be mad. You can go to the next channel. Tell that reader what to do. Tell that YouTuber or TikToker, whoever, how to run their shit. You didn't like something that they said. Go deal with that. Go deal with your mama. Because that's really what your issue is. You got other problems going on. You're not going to tell me what to do on my shit. So y'all can run and talk y'all mouth all day online and say what you don't like. And I don't like this person because this person probably called you and where you needed to sit down, where you had them fucked up at, and you are feeling real mad because how dare somebody do that? How dare somebody even have the balls to tell me where it is? Because I'm so used to people catering to me and saying, okay. And I used to be that way. I used to care about what people thought, and half the time these motherfuckers ain't even subscribed to my shit, probably never liked none of my shit, probably never booked a reading or invested anything into my channel, but want to tell me how to run things. I used to play that little nice girl game because there was a lack of respect there. There was that people pleasing thing still going on inside of me. And it got me nowhere with that. Just more loss of respect for myself and just making it too easy and my energy too accessible for people that didn't deserve my energy, don't even deserve the messages that I give, because they don't know how to hear anything that is not only centered in what their ego feels comfortable with, or where they feel comfortable sitting in complacency, sitting in a karmic loop, sitting in an excuse to stay mediocre, stay where they're at, or stay in unhealthy relationships. So I know that most of my messages are not going to be for everyone. And then 9 times out of 10, they are meant to trigger something inside of a person to self reflect, catch them where they're at. And most people don't want to hear that. They want to hear the fluff. They want to hear everything's okay. You're a great person. You don't need to change. You could stay in that fucked up relationship because they'll come back eventually, and because they're your twin flame, or everybody's jealous of you, everybody's gossiping about you, go off into the sunset and oblivion and twirl around, bitch, and have a good life. People like shit like that. I am not that messenger. I cannot do that for you. Is that everyday life? Yes. Is people jealous? Do they gossip? Yes. Can people be jealous of you? Yeah. Could you be doing the right thing and you're good? You ain't got to worry about nothing? Yes. But at the same time, are we actively growing and healing? Are we not? Do we go through things? Yes. Are we always right? Are we always the good guy in every situation? No. No. And I've come to understand and respect the fact I am not for everybody, and I don't want to be. To be for everybody would be probably a part of me is selling out a little bit, trying to appeal to everybody. If everybody likes everything that I do, and I notice that my readings that are about love and who's coming towards you gets way more views than something like this, because it's easy to sit back and wait for a fairy tale to unfold. But let me give y'all a little something for some of you that don't get it. When it comes to love and relationships, you can ask for something to come to you, but faith without works is dead. So if you're not preparing the vibration for that relationship that you claim that you want, and you think all it takes is just you sitting around waiting, hoping and wishing, waiting for a synchronicity, or thinking that going to the gym and getting pretty, getting snatched is the only way that you're going to attract a divine counterpart without doing the inner work on yourself, because it's not enough to just want something. Your vibration and your energy has to be in a space that allows that type of frequency to come about. If spirit just allowed you to be with the right person under the guise of something inside of you that still is attached to men or women that are not for you, that don't treat you right, you don't respect yourself, you have bad relationships with everyone in your life, where people can walk all over you, tell you what to do, or treat you like nothing, and you still show up, still give and give and give. Spirit cannot bless you with a divine equal that's going to give to you, because you're going to repel that, because that doesn't fit your vibration, your narrative right now. Your narrative says, I have to perform for love. I have to settle. I have to prove that I'm worthy of this person. I have to chase this. I have to settle for this. So you're not going to call that vibration in of what you're really asking for, because your energy is repelling it. It's easier to focus on your ex and who's coming back, and is this no good, my twin flame? Are they ever going to see it? Are they ever going to get it? And you sit and you waste years on this, and you watch these fucking readings with that mindset. You're pushing away your true divine counterpart, because your vibration wants something that you can't even keep. And a part of you, essentially, you're not really ready for that, because that would make you feel exposed and vulnerable for once to be seen and to be received and to be loved, when all your life you've been taught that you have to perform for love. You have to mince who you are to be seen and to be loved, or you have to only show parts of yourself, or be beautiful, that's it, or be handsome, or have money, and that's how you're going to attract love. That's how you keep a man. That's how you get a woman. No, 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 no. That's how you repel, because you're repelling your own soul and yourself. For one, you're not tapping into your light. You're not embracing your light. You're not embracing who you are. So you're going to repel that mirror to your soul. And you're going to attract, quote unquote, twin flames, people that mirror back the part of yourself that you mince. The people that can't hold you or can't contain you, because how can I love you and embrace something that you're not really showing me? You're not showing me your real you. The fear is that if I do become my real self, deep down subconsciously, I know that this person is not going to want to be with me anyway. That's the fear. But in that case, if you flip it and look at it from the bright side of it, what that actually means is that, okay, good, I showed my true self. They didn't want me. They didn't resonate with me. They're not my person. Bye. Let's make room for my person. The more and more you show for yourself, you're going to attract your divine counterpart. I promise you that. But that would mean you would have to do the work, and you would have to take accountability for yourself, and you would have to let go what you're clinging on to. And that's not easy for everybody. You got to take it one step at a time. But you got to start somewhere. Nobody is going to come to save you. Nobody on this earth is coming to save you from yourself. You have to save yourself from you. And what I mean by save yourself is not like hate yourself, run from yourself, but the parts of yourself that you just wish people would show up and just love you, you got to be that for you first. Because as soon as somebody decides, which everyone has free will, to say, I no longer resonate with this, or I'm no longer in love, or I don't want to be in a relationship, or this friendship has run its course, or a family member fucks you over, at the end of the day, do you still got you? It's a tough pill for a lot of people to swallow, especially women, because we think that the rainbow is having a soulmate and having a man at the end of the rainbow. That's everything. But this world, we are individuals. Your individuality is what attracts everything to you. How you see yourself is everything. The type of career path you walk, the purpose that you'll find, the connections that you'll encounter, they will be centered around your individualism, how you see yourself, whether these are divine ordained things or these are things that are distractions. But when you walk in that place of self identification, like from a place of love, everything matters to you. The career path that you walk will align with you. Everything that the tools, the blessings, the opportunities, the doors that will open for you when you're in alignment with yourself. The true things. You don't have to bust your ass in the sense of, not saying that you don't have to work for anything, but you don't have to sell out to get anything that's already destined and ordained for you. The type of lover that's meant for you, that sees the true you, you will never have to perform for that motherfucker, because they love you as you are. They love you enough not to let you stay in complacency or lie to yourself. Some of y'all wouldn't even be able to deal with a real divine masculine or feminine because you'll feel like they're calling you out. Oh, how dare them? Because people that don't really like you or really fuck with you, they'll keep you stuck. They like when you think less of yourself. They like when you don't see your worth. They like that because they can take from you when you don't see yourself. Once you see yourself and you start looking at all the dysfunction around you and you call that shit out, or you have set boundaries, that's when they can't stand you. That's when they hate you and villainize you. So to be with a person that genuinely loves you feels like you're being called out, because in a sense, they are calling something out of you that they can see that's not best for you. Just like a mother will say, I want you to apply yourself. I don't want you to, spend the rest of your life struggling or whatever. And your parents will teach you they'll teach you responsibility through discipline. So when you meet people, whether it be lovers, mentors, friends, that will call certain things out and say, that's not healthy. Why are you doing that? You know? Um, and it's not like a judgment or talking down to you. It's a place where they ask the question and they might call it out and say, you deserve better than that. Why are you allowing this? But when you're stuck in your oblivion, that type of energy feels like you're pointing the finger down at me. You're talking down to me. Some people won't be able to handle that, because a true divine counterpart, divine connection, whether that be family or soul family, friends, career, they inspire and encourage growth. And growth is sometimes painful. Growth is not something that just feels good. It hurts sometimes. Oftentimes it does, because it's stretching you, stretching your capacity. It's uncomfortable because the spaces that you used to fit, you've outgrown it, you become too big for it. So therefore you're going to bump around. It's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to feel tight where you are because you've outgrown that. So growth never, hardly ever, I should say, feels good. So spirit wants you to know you're not too much. Okay, that's the thing. You're not too much, and that if you're still triggered by quote unquote rejection, you'll internalize it again as I'm too much or I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. Um, but you're not the problem, and it's not that you're unlovable or that you're unwanted. It's most likely because you're spiritually mature in a world where people are still spiritually children. I feel like in essence we all are technically the child and the guru at the same time, because there's things that we know and there's things that we don't. But like when you're surrounded by people that are not as spiritually mature within themselves, they don't understand themselves, they don't understand God. And when I say God, I always tell people to find what God means to them through themselves, through their own personal journey, what God means to you. If you believe in a God or you're questioning that, like to go on that journey yourself, because you'll find a lot of the answers. You have a lot of questions about not just God, but who am I? And that's where you start to unravel you. And most people will not do that. They will not. They resonate with a God that is going to come down and rescue them and save them, that takes care of all their problems, all their worries, without them lifting a finger. And all they got to say is Jesus, 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 and he'll just come through. And not criticizing, nor am I disrespecting anybody with that, because I've been there. But I don't look at God from that sense of like saving me from my troubles without me learning something, without me growing through something. Not every struggle is a curse, or hardly, I don't believe that. I feel it's not any type of curse at all. Oftentimes, it's something that helps me to grow, helps me to strengthen my spiritual faith, my spiritual muscle, my spiritual um power. So also, if you're like wildly intuitive in a world that just numbs everything. You feel everything, you see things, and sometimes you may not speak on everything that you know and everything that you feel. And most people just want to numb from this experience because the human experience is not easy. It's not. We're not even gonna lie in front and pretend that it is, because it is not. And I see why people want to numb. I get it. Trust me, I understand. I get it. Um, but I don't condone it um at all, you know. But we're human and we grow through things. We experience different facets of life, and some of those things are very challenging, sometimes very traumatic, right? So it's easy to want to escape. And if you have distractions all around you, whether it's um, at the touch of your fingertips or something you can consume um, or digest physically in your body, or digest with your eyes, your ears, your body frequency, your energies, um, or connecting with people that take you from that because it's fun. You like the highs of it. You like the unpredictability. It shocks you. It makes you feel something. To go through trauma sometimes, where people, it might be a high for them to go through a certain connection or relationship that is unpredictable. Somebody that you can't depend on, and when they come back, it's like, oh, they chose me, and it lights you back up again. It's that high, that adrenaline that we chase with things. We try to numb ourselves out. So when you feel things deeply, where some people can't put a name to it, you have to understand, like, have this compassion for yourself and for others to an extent, because again, like, human, you're human, they're human in this physical plane, right? We're dealing with a human experience. Honor yourself and what you feel. You're also magnetic and real in a world that rewards performance. That's powerful. You got to look at projections as low level spell work. Like, it has no effect on you once you see it for what it is. Like, I can't be affected by your projections. I see them for what they are. Anytime, and it's not a one size fit all situation all the time, but oftentimes when people are triggered by you or intimidated by you, and they um, try to find something to pick at you about, to tear you down about, or the game of I don't see you. Most of the time, the people that pretend that they don't see you, they motherfuckers see you like they the first one to see you. Okay, they're gonna be the last one. They're gonna be watching sun up, sundown, keeping up with you. Guarantee it. Their projections cannot affect you when you see them for what they are, but they're just a mirror of what they think or how they feel about themselves. That it has nothing to do with you, really. That it bounces off of you because you know yourself. You know what's up. So, and for many, that's too much too soon. Like, that energy can be too much for some people. This is what it is. you know so what can you do now? Stop trying to be understood by the wrong crowd. What point does that give you? And that crowd is not just an audience of people, because not everybody has social medias, not everybody has platforms, but the crowd being the people centered and central of your life, or just strangers that don't like, what do they matter to you? These are people that you'll never interact with in everyday life, or probably ever again. So what does it matter what they think or what they say? What do they contribute? You're not meant to be in a circle. If that circle represents being in a cage, being in a loop, being in a hermit or a hamster wheel, your circle or your true tribe will not require you to shrink yourself and stay stuck in a loop, being the same day person same day and same out, as long as you don't surpass me, like, no. Or as long as you don't challenge my ego, challenge my wounds or my trauma or my dysfunction or my mask. You see what I got going on. I just want you to shut up, don't say nothing about it, and just take it as it is. Like, why would you want to be with people like that? You're not meant to be in that energy of survival. You can't dole your gifts, your calling, and your purpose to survive in other people's projection. What good is that going to do? What good is that for your divine assignment? Why you were here, why you were called in the first place, why you were even chosen? What good does that do? That is a heavy disrespect on the divine, your highest self, or whatever your calling, your purpose is, of gifts instilled in you, to not do well with those gifts or respect it at the expense of another human being that don't even know themselves. Like, what does that look like? Your shine is sacred. It's not about visibility for popularity. Your shine is divinity. It's divine light. So trading it in for scraps or for just to belong, child, no, you can't afford to do that. You cannot afford to do that. So to call in your soul tribe. Soul tribe can be those that are your brothers, your sisters, your divine mothers and fathers here on this plane, your mentors, other fellow healers, your divine counterparts, the children that maybe you'll have. For some of you, that is your soul tribe. Okay? You can say this prayer if you want to with me, but you can ask your divine spirit, say, God, source, divine ancestors, divine counsel, let those who are not afraid of my light, my truth, and my fullness come forward. Let those who carry love without performance find me. Let me be seen as I am and loved anyway. I release the lie that not being chosen means I'm unworthy. I grieve the parts of me that were never celebrated, but I do not bury my brilliance with them. I was never the loser. I was the light. And one day, the ones who see the stars will find me shining. Okay? So keep your heart soft, not hardened, but keep your boundaries sacred. Okay? So you're here to liberate. You're not here to convince anybody. That's not your story. It never was your story. Okay? So you may be the one that people pretend not to see, okay? um, and again, it's because they fear what you make them feel, you know. But God sees you, your divine source sees you, I see you, God chooses you. You're not here to fit in, okay? And you're here to bring the frequency that they didn't know that they needed. A lot. That's the biggest thing too. The assignment is to tap people where they need that shock to awaken something in them. And it's up to them, because everyone has free will, whether they choose to take that on and tap into themselves, or will they project and reflect back onto you because they are comfortable where they are. Okay. So for now, I want y'all to please hear this. Okay. Your light is not the problem. Okay. Their discomfort is just a sign that you're the real thing. Okay. You have to remember that, even if it feels like you're being pushed back. And the biggest thing, because I asked God before I even started this whole thing, because I've been sitting on this message for maybe a couple of weeks. I asked God, what is it that you're trying to teach people like me, those who feel perpetually rejected, unseen, or like they're too much, and feel the pain of it. Okay. How do I word this? Stop bending for breadcrumbs and start building your altar. Okay. So you're not meant to beg for inclusion in the spaces that can't even hold you. You're not here to perform your value. You're here to embody it. Rejection teaches us that if they don't know what to do with my soul, that's not my home. That's not my place. That's not my tribe. It's not the safe space for me. Um, Number two is to refine the discernment, not diminish it, not diminish your shine, right? So we'll learn to feel the difference between being admired, right, and being met, between being used and being chosen. So God is training our intuition to see beyond the smiles and into actual soul alignment. Number three, um, to grieve what you never received and still love without bitterness. So many of us don't just want love, we want revenge through success sometimes, right? Um, but God is asking us to grieve honestly so that our love doesn't become armored or hardened, bitter. So that when a real love comes, and love, not just romantic, but love in general, our hearts is soft enough to actually receive that. Okay. Number four, to become the sanctuary that we never found. So rejection makes us crave a place to belong, like all humans, that's natural. A community, belonging, that's naturally inherited in us. But until we realize that we are that place, we become the sacred space, not just for ourselves, but for others that have also been casted out too. Because you're not the only person that grows through this, or experience this, no matter how long you've realized it or understood it, or it's been from as earliest as you can remember, right? You're not alone in that. Number five, to anchor your worth in God and not in their applause. And this is the most important one, because this is something that one of the key points that I always walk with in my life is that I have to anchor my worth in how God sees me and not in what other humans think of me first. Never. So you're being taught that worth is not a performance. It's not productivity. And that's another thing that I struggled with as well. Productivity, produce, 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 do this, work, 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 work. It's not about who claps. It's not about who picks you, right? So what God says is that you're chosen by me. And that will always be enough, no matter who forgets you. And what is that hidden gift though? That hidden gift is when you stop chasing the circles or the communities, the spaces, the love, the friendships, this that didn't see you and don't see you. Where you can make the space for divine alignment to catch up to you, whether that be through true friendship, true love, true recognition, and not because you're quote unquote trying to fix yourself, but because you're finally at a place where you stop betraying yourself for proximity. Okay. Show some love, show some likes, y'all, if this is resonating. Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate you, sis. Yeah, turn up in the comments, y'all, in a good way. I do want to allow some people to come on if they would like to. I will send the link. You don't have to come on camera if you don't want to. There's no pressure in that. Um, yeah, there's no pressure in that. Okay. But yeah, I just wanted to deliver this message because you were, you know, because I can resonate with this. Like, if you've ever been that person that people liked but just never chose or fully included, um, maybe people celebrated from a distance but not visibly celebrated you. You may have never fully felt truly welcomed or accepted by the people that you wanted to, whether that be within family, friend groups, job spaces, romantic situations. I want y'all to know there's nothing wrong with you. Like, you got to know that. I feel like that needs to be instilled within you, because that is something again that we'll internalize from time to time with what we perceive as rejection, and it's not that the rejection was because you're too much. It's because you're just too real for certain spaces that are full of those masks. You know, God is not punishing you. God wasn't punishing you at the time. You were being protected. Your sacredness, and also spirit is training and was training even in those spaces, your discernment. Are you going to choose yourself? Asking you to choose yourself before you even beg to be chosen because you're already chosen. You got to remind yourself of that. Your sacredness is not and was never meant for it to be consumed. That's the thing, because not everybody is going to respect something that is sacred, because most people don't even recognize what is sacred. They don't have the capacity to. So if I've used this example before, but like if I was to have a Christmas party giveaway and I gift everyone at that party a diamond bracelet, some of those people will say, this is not my taste. I don't like diamonds, or it's too big, it's too flashy, or it's not flashy enough. Some people might go, oh, I see that this is expensive. Okay, it's nice. And then put it somewhere up and never wear it again. Or they might gift it to somebody else because it's just not their thing. Some people will take it and probably just throw it somewhere in a jewelry box, not even keep it in a safe space. They don't care. And then those that might look at it and say, oh, this is so beautiful. I can't wait to wear this. Oh, this is for nice occasions. Let me, put this up. I'm putting it in a nice box or a nice jewelry safe space box. Upkeep it. They know, oh, this is this type of cut. This is the type of, oh, okay. And they know it and they understand it and they hold it sacred. That's how some people will treat others. You can have something of value in front of you or in your hands, but if you don't see it as valuable or sacred, or you don't know how to handle nice things, expensive things, sacred things, you just don't and you won't. And in that case, you're not for everybody. And that does not take away the fact that you are valuable. Okay? Your sacredness is meant to be honored. Okay? You're not invincible to God. Even if you feel like you're invincible, you're not. You're not hard to love. You're not just, you're being initiated into love that's real, that's rare. Okay? And worthy of who you actually are, in your core true self of who you are. Because that's it. That's just what it is. Okay? So I do want to give away this deck, the Wildwood Tarot deck. I do want to choose someone to give it to that a nice home for them. So, does anybody want to come up? Anybody want to pop up? If you want to share your story of dealing with visibility or feeling rejected, being excluded in any case, I will send you the link if you want to join. Um, yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how I want to um, give this deck away. Like I said, I'm going to have to only make it available to someone in the US. That's the um, only thing here that might kind of, I don't know, that's like a bad thing for some people. But I want to make sure that I want to give it to the right home, right person that's going to honor this deck. Because, like I said, this deck is, I may have not used it much at all. I think I did like one big reading with it years ago, and it was kind of like a mediumship reading. It was kind of scary because the card just flew. It was like, it was so weird. It was so scary, y'all. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. It was really scary. I was a little scared. But and then my daughter, when she was really little, she gave me a reading. The first time I got the deck, she was reading it to me. And she doesn't have no concept or understanding of tarot, at least not in this life. She don't. And just the fact that she knew how to read them already and she had a real life message was like pretty scary to me. I was like, hold up, sis. Like, look. So this deck is precious, but I just don't use it. And it's in really good shape. It's not in bad shape at all. The cards are in good condition. They look pretty much new for real. So they look pretty new, you know. Um so I'm not selling it. I'm not trying to force it on anyone. This is a deck that I know is no longer, for me. It's just not. It's just waiting for somebody to love them. It's waiting for them to be loved by the right person. They're beautiful cards. I might do like a what do you call it? Like a not a deck review, but just kind of a flip through of the deck so you guys can see like the different cards and also see the condition of the cards. And I'll of course cleanse the energy so that they're fresh and new. There's no old energy, stagnated, whatever on it, and it's good to go to its new home. You know. But yeah, if that is all, y'all, like y'all quiet. Y'all awfully quiet. Tawanda, how are you, sis? I'm sorry. How are you? I hope everybody's enjoying their Tuesday. Okay. It's been a interesting day. I mean, not like in any kind of particular weird day, but just like the energy. I should say like this past week or so has been pretty interesting. I don't know. I don't know why, but it has. Um it's okay, sis. I appreciate you for coming on. I understand. Yeah, some of y'all probably at work, probably driving or something. It's okay. Um, I'm good too, sis. Thank you. Today is pretty laxed. I was glad I had time to come on here and do this reading or not reading. this this live. I was glad I was able to do that, because I feel like people need to hear it, and in all transparency, it is something that um I feel like rejection is something that it's always been a work in progress for me, and seeing it how God sees it, seeing it from a high divine perspective and not from a place of self rejection, which I feel like I've done a lot by, you know, seemingly assuming that other people are rejecting me when they're rejecting themselves by rejecting me. It's something inside that they're rejecting that they don't want to see about themselves. So it has nothing to do with me. Aw, I know, sis. And that's one of the other things too. Like you can be a great person. Um, and people can see your greatness because it's not always a sinister reason why we get rejected. Sometimes it's literally people just don't feel like they're good enough or ready enough. They haven't dealt with their own internalized issues, to accept something that kind of challenges them out of their fears of love or acceptance themselves. So, rejection and love is not always like the sinister one where it's just like I'm not into you, I don't like you. It's not always that. Some motherfuckers will really fuck with you, really like you, but fear something within themselves, like you trigger something in them. Am I really ready for this? Do I believe in love? They might have abandonment wounds and things like that. Um, they may know that you deserve something better than them, you know? Yeah, just not on the same wavelength. And that's okay because we're not all going to be. This is the thing. I feel like if humans could understand that we could coexist, we don't got to be friends. We don't got to be lovers. We don't have to like each other, but can we respect each other and respect our spaces, our communities, what we got going on, who we are as people without feeling some type of way? I feel like if humans could exist in that sense, we wouldn't feel the need to rob, steal, and kill and destroy each other. There wouldn't be no need for that. In a perfect world, I guess we could say, if we can't all get along, can we respect each other? Do we have the that level of maturity to respect each other's spaces, even if we don't like, love, or fully understand? Because people try to dictate and control what they don't understand. They try to, villainize things that, or people, places, cultures, communities, things that they don't get or understand. And instead of minding our fucking businesses, we like, let's start a war. Let's start doing this. Let's try to civilize what I think is uncivilized. Let's try to civilize it instead of just minding your fucking business. You know, people don't know how to do that. It's so sad. Like, go sit your ass down. Because we all have a life to live. We all have a journey to experience, and it's not going to resonate with everybody. It's not. Um, and do you mind if I read it out loud, Ashley? Because if someone plays this back, they're not going to know what you're saying. So they're not going to see it. I don't think. So I'm gonna read it if you don't mind. So, Ashley says that she felt rejected um, by love when the guy she wanted made her feel like she was quote unquote too much for asking for clarity and sharing what it was that they were looking for in a relationship. And whenever she brought up the topic, he would just dismiss her, and she felt emotionally disrespected. And she felt like she needed to shrink herself for him. So that's not the person for you. If that's what he made you feel in yourself, like that's a clear indication, like, no, dude, like, nah, no. Um, and what I feel like too, like, I feel like that's a good thing, like a good story to share, because that happens a lot in relationships. When we state, like, we seek out clarity, like, okay, there's nothing wrong with a partner, a person that's interested in another person, to say, what are you looking for in a relationship? Or if you guys have had a good enough rapport to say, well, how do you feel about me? Like, where do you stand with this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, trying to get that clarity, and then the other person kind of deflects and pushes back. It could be a lot of reasons why this person did that. But I feel for you how maybe to start, like where to start with the reflection is acknowledging the fact that, okay, this person is not either mature enough to have that type of discussion with me, or this person is avoiding something within them, not avoiding me. They're avoiding something within them where they're not being completely transparent and honest about this. And a person that makes me feel like I need to shrink myself or I'm too much, is that somebody that I really want to be with? In spite of the fact that I may really dig this person, like them a lot, love them maybe even sometimes. And that's where the point comes in. You always have to love yourself more than you love somebody else. Because if you love somebody more than you love yourself, you'll compromise yourself for them. And that's not real love anyway. It's okay. You like them. So, of course, you're going to still have feelings. You're still going to maybe think about him, maybe hope that something could turn around. Those are normal feelings to have, you know? Um, yes, yes. And that's very powerful for you to choose yourself, even though you really liked him, even though you wanted something to happen. It may still do, but the fact that you chose yourself and honored yourself, that's something to be proud of. That's something to clap and, you know, if you ever feel down, like, no, well, at least I chose me. At least I honored and respected myself. You did the right thing. You're welcome. Yeah, like, it's a tough thing. It's a really tough thing. Um, yeah, no, but somebody probably needed to hear it. Yeah, it might be like quick, but no, someone needs to hear it, because that could be like something someone else is going through. Maybe the situation, like the depth of it might be different for each person, but like how many people have gone through a situation where they really like somebody and and told them either how they feel or they wanted to know how the other person feels. Where I've been there, you know. Um, I had a situation where I liked this guy for years, right? And I knew um that he did too. But he just, for whatever reason, just did not have the courage to tell me how he felt. And it was almost like breadcrumbing because um he kept saying like, oh, I got something for you. I want to share something with you, blah, blah, blah. I want to, as a means, because I wrote him a letter and told him how I felt about him. And I left that open space for him to, however you feel about this, like, it's no pressure. You don't got to, like, nothing has to come of this, but at least like some sort of clarity. And the fact that he said he would provide that, and years had gone by, and it's just like this um game whole game. I had to accept that I may never know, and maybe it's not meant for me to even go there. You know, that's not what I want. I want somebody that is just as transparent, if not more, and open hearted with me. For me to even do that was a lot, but I did it for me. I said, I need to get this shit off my chest. I'm going to share this because, not because I want you to, do something, or for you to like come to me and want me or anything like that. I gave him the opportunity. If you want to, um, if you want to share that with me, the space is open. If you want to talk about what I said, blah, 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 how you're experiencing, because I knew he liked me. I mean, that's evident. Like, you can tell when somebody's interested in you, or at least I would say attracted to you, has some type of fascination or whatever for you. And I knew that. There was that vibe there. There was a lot of different things spoken, even when we would hang out and stuff like that. But just the fact that that person could not be transparent with me. Even sometimes, like, I'll share this with y'all, because this is like, at that moment I felt rejected. So that night that we were in the same space and we were like sitting with each other or whatever, but he hardly acknowledged me that whole night, even though he was sitting next to me, hardly acknowledged me the whole night. End of the night, he ended up just leaving. We didn't ever have the conversation that he claimed we were gonna have. Never, not once tried to talk to me, make a plan like, okay, we're gonna talk after this, or he just said, yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Didn't even acknowledge me the whole night. Sat next to me. It was just so weird. Like, sometimes I'd be like, is this dude like fucking with me? Because he just does shit, like weird shit. So that night when he just left and didn't say anything, he didn't even say bye. He just left. I felt so like, I felt rejected, literally rejected. And I was spiraling and going in my head like, okay, like that was like fucked up. Like, it was kind of cruel to me, like how he responded. And it was very immature. And when I look back on that experience, that moment, I have to be honest, I knew that he did not have the capacity to be transparent with me. I knew he didn't. I knew he didn't. I felt it. I said, I had this feeling like it's something like disappointing, because he always half-ass shows up. Always half shows up. Always. Or leaves you hanging. Right? So it was like maybe a few months after, like a whole year I didn't see him. Um, I stayed away. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. So when I seen him again, and I felt it, I knew, I'm like, I know he's gonna come back with something to reel me back in. I knew it. And when I seen him again, he was like, oh, I wrote something for you. Still to this day, I think this was like 2021 when this happened, I think. Still to this day, I ain't heard shit. Nothing. Not a damn. And at this point, it's like, I don't even care anymore. If you even wrote anything for me, actually. I don't know. Still to this day. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. And that type of stuff, I don't want that. That's not the type of energy that I want. While I'm sitting here rejecting myself, thinking something's wrong with me, and it's like, deep down in yourself, do you want somebody that cannot be transparent with you, can't even have an adult conversation about what was just said. I'm not telling you to be with me. I'm not telling you to marry me. I'm not telling you you my twin flame, you my soulmate and stuff. I'm not doing none of that. A simple just expression and wanting clarity, at the most, that's it. I couldn't even get that. I don't want nothing like that in my, like, that's not the type of man that I see myself being with. Just based off of the communication, not being able to keep one's word is another big thing too. That's another thing. It just shows that you're not to be trusted. Why would I want to be with somebody like that? That doesn't have the emotional capacity to show up in a way like where I can be safe to express myself. Even if he said, I would respect him more if we had a conversation. He said, I respect everything that you said, or whatever. I'm flattered, but I don't feel the same. I would respect that because, nigga, at least I would be set free from that. I wouldn't be sitting there going, oh, okay, what's going on? You. That's the type of shit I'm talking about. So we've all been there. We've all been there. You know, I just got to a place where I said that's not what I want anymore. It takes certain things for you to see and to learn that you deserve better. Um, I want a man, because when men act like they don't care and stuff like that, I know sometimes it's like emotional protection, like they try to protect themselves, but half the time it's just ego. Like, I don't want other people to think I'm thirsty. I don't want this woman to think she all that because she probably already got other dudes and stuff. Like, that's childish to me. You're a kid. Because as a grown man, as a confident man, if you want something, you don't care who the fuck else wants it. If you like something, you see something you like, or you like a woman, you interested, or you think they're attractive, or you like something about them, you can vocalize that and express that with your whole chest. That's what I want, child. I don't like games. That's like kitty stuff to me. To pretend you don't have any feelings or you don't like me, or that's just lame to me. It is. Oh, I'm gonna like her story, but I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna like it. Like, that's lame. Like, that is the most annoying thing that I find that men do. I cannot stand that shit. I'm gonna watch her stories to see if she'll talk to me or she'll look at mine or she'll come out of her way. Nigga, no, I'm not. Like, that's the craziest shit ever. Like, just the audacity to want to see, like, test the wire, see if I'll chase. Or sometimes just to be nosy and see, like, oh, that's so dumb. Like, this is the thing, like, people that want to be seen, they gonna go on your story so they know you're gonna see it most likely. They'll do something that you'll see it, like, oh, so and so, look at my story. Oh, okay. And look, I got more transparencies for y'all. And I'm gonna share my little Mercury retrograde prophecy thing that came to pass. But one of my, I wouldn't even call him an ex because we only dated for 2 months, and then we tried again, and it failed again because ninjas ain't shit. But anyway, um, this dude, I dated him like years ago. I probably dated him back in like 2017, and it was one of those. It was a Venus retrograde relationship. We got together on a Venus retrograde. I'll never forget. Um, I think that day, I never do this. I never do this, but I felt I was feeling myself. I had bought, like, this is back when I used to wear colorful wigs. Like, I used to wear color a lot, and I had this new blue wig that I had on. I thought it was cute that day, or whatever. I took a little selfie, and I posted it, and I seen the likes, and I said, "Who is this?" Because I don't remember. I don't go on Facebook. I hate fucking Facebook. This was back when I kind of used it a little bit, but still wasn't really actively on it. I was just accepting people's requests back then, and this guy, I must have accepted his request. And I was like, who is this? And so I went on his page being nosy, and I seen that it was his birthday. So I don't know what came over me because I would never do this. Because for one, like I'm not that bold with men like that. So I wish him a happy birthday and left it at that. That's when it all unfolded. We stayed on the phone talking for hours, talking about everything, and he was real cool. Long story short, met up within a week, and things just happened so quick, so fast, so fast. We would see each other every week, just because he lived far from me, but he would drive out to see me every week. Um, anyway, long story short, this ninja looked at my stories, right? And I looked and I said, we're not following each other. I see looking at my shit. So then I go back and I see that he left a DM like a few minutes after that. And then he was like, oh, I'm just wishing you a happy blah, blah, blah. No response needed. You know what I did? I liked it and didn't respond. I just left it at that. Because it's like the games. Like, I want to talk to you, but I don't want you to reject me. Like, that's so stupid. You know what I mean? Like, I'm wishing you, I want to say something to you, but no response needed. Like, that was so stupid to me. It was unfortunate. Like, I just don't understand. I don't get it. And then Mercury retrograde happened. Not even 24 hours later of me doing that Mercury retrograde reading where I said somebody is going to pop up and they might even say something as simple as, hey, this motherfucker said, hey, I'm sorry. Text me at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was thinking to myself, like, who the fuck is this? Because I didn't save their number in my phone. So I looked at it and I said, oh, it's him. Because I saw the text thread come through and I said, oh, okay. Um, this guy, not the same guy, just telling y'all about. These are two different or three different situations. Um, this is somebody that I knew since high school. Yes, we hooked up back in the day, like a little bit after high school. We were still pretty young. We hooked up once. We both had a crush on each other in high school, but just never went there with that. He was a popular dude. I was kind of just the float around. I wasn't popular, not really the loser either. Like I knew people in different circles, but just was one of those whatever, free whatever agents in school. But he never told me he liked me until after the fact, after school. Long story short, fast forward, this guy tells me he's out of a relationship, right? And he wanted to hang out, right? And of course, one thing led to another, right? Fast forward, we don't talk to each other for like a whole year, right? Whole year, haven't heard from him. This ninja gonna pop up, say, hey, I'm sorry. And I was like, for what? For ghosting you. And I was like, how did you ghost me? And I found out that he was still in a relationship. So I told him, oh, okay, obviously you ghosted me because you're still in that relationship, right? So all this so-called confessions and things like that, and he just had the Negro audacity to ask me would I still talk to him again. And I was straight up with him, and I told him, let me look at, do I still got, let me see. Let me see, child. I'm gonna tell him what I said, and I'm proud of myself because it's like the audacity of you to think that I'm gonna lower my standards for you after I found out that you're in a relationship. You think I'm gonna fuck with you again? You really think that? And just slow down, you're just about to go. Oh, I'm about to go off. I told him, okay. I said, for what? What are you sorry for? He said, ghosting. My bad. I've been sipping, and he admitted to being on my social media looking at my shit. And I was like, okay. Well, I said it's clear you're in a relationship. Of course you ghosted. I didn't expect as much. I should have known better. Okay. And he said, I know shit. I fucked up. Blah, 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 whatever. And I said, and then he said, but I wanted to apologize. Should have done that a long time ago. I said, thank you. I guess it's all good. I've learned my lesson. Be well. He had nerve to say, are you still mad at me? And I said, no, I'm not. Things just happen and it's in the past. And then he had the nerve to ask me would I still talk to him again. And I said, there wouldn't be a point to. You're in a relationship. And I want a man of my own and somebody available for me. He said, I understand. And then he tried to say that his relationship was going through some shit. Like, I give a fuck. Like, that's going to change the narrative. Um, and he said, I already know the answer, but would you be down to kick it? And I said, I'm going to sleep. And I'm not sure what you think about me to not take what I said as serious. But if it's about getting some, it's not happening ever again. It's not happening ever again. There's no need to. You know what I mean? Like, and that disrespect of thinking like, okay, I know she said that she's not gonna fuck with me because I'm already in a situation already, and she wants somebody that's available in her own situation. But you gonna think, oh, well, our relationship's fractured. We don't even sleep in the same room and all this shit. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. The point is that you already are with somebody. That's your choice. Whether it's a good relationship or a bad relationship, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I want my own man. I don't want nothing to do with that. And you're lucky that I even gave you some because, and it partially is because of that little history that we had. Otherwise, like, I wouldn't probably have done that, trying to keep my abstinence and slipped up. But that's where we're human at. I can admit that's where we're human at. And to be mad at him wouldn't, I'm not mad. I'm more so like at first I was mad at myself because I was like, like, you should have vetted that better. And I knew deep down inside like something was off, just the way that he was moving a little bit. I'm like, something's not right. But I bypassed my own intuition for some lust. Let's keep it real. Um, and I don't feel like it was worth it. And he just showed me how selfish he is. Like, why would I want to talk to you, even if you're not trying to be in a relationship? Which I'm not trying to be in a relationship with you, but it's just the simple fact that you would do that to your partner, even if y'all are going through something. That's the type of man that you are. Like, I can't respect you. So why would you think I would, number one, even want to hang out with you again, see you ever again, and even let you hit it again? Why would you think that? Yeah. Yep. I cannot with some men sometimes. Like, they really like it really catch me off guard sometimes. Like, y'all are just really predictable, I should say. You can't even say catch me off guard because they're really predictable at this point. Um, and so yeah, that was really funny. That he just popped out because I'm not looking for an apology. I actually accepted that what I did. I was like, I kind of wish I wouldn't have, slept with him, gave him the time of day at all. And when like, I seen that he was still in that relationship because he was looking at my shit like a few months ago actually, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm nosy, investigative. It's like, oh, this ninja. Oh, oh, okay. And that's what I was like. You know what? Nah, I'm good. These people is just, it's shameful because it's just like that's why I'm scared to get in a relationship with people. I'm scared to be with people sometimes because it's like they will have you living a whole lie, and the things that people project online, you'll never know. Like, I can read into shit. I can obviously tell, like, both of them are not in love with each other. Like, they're just there, which is sad. Um, but it's like we'll project online that we're this happy couple, we're a happy family, we doing this, we doing that, and then whole time you like sleeping behind your partner's back with other people and stuff like that. Like that type of disrespect. And what I said to him, I hope it penetrated something in him because you you really disrespected not just me, but your partner and y'all little foundation that y'all got going on. Like, you were being deceptive, very deceptive. You're wrong on every level because I would have never, ever done that, ever. So I can't respect it. I can't respect it. And I had to stop shaming myself for that because I didn't know. I didn't know. And I have to start learning to trust the vibes. If I feel like something is not right, it's usually not right. And I should have listened to myself, but I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Um, and like I said, on top of that, I wasn't looking for anything. I wanted to have a good time, you know what I mean? Just go out, have a good time. And that, that's where it ended. So I didn't expect anything after that, but just the disrespect, the audacity is really where he got me fucked up. So I hope to never hear from him again. I hope to never hear from that ninja again. Like, don't ever text me ever again. Just leave me the fuck alone. You know, that little high school shit, like that's done. Like, we're not in high school no more. Nothing was supposed to come of that. It is what it is. So yeah. And I made it very clear, like, not just to him, but like, this is where I'm at with myself. I want somebody for me. Like, I'm not going to settle for that. I'm not going to settle for half ass, whether you are somebody saying, oh, I'm in a relationship, but it ain't that deep, or somebody that may not be in a relationship with somebody or whatever, but giving me half of their time. I'm not settling for that type of shit. That's not the type of energy that I want in my life. I'm not doing that. I'm not playing side chick to any dudes. Like, anytime I found out that a man has a woman, oh, I'm done with you. I'm done with you. I'm not doing that. I've had married men try to shoot their shot, blatantly married, and some of them will lie and say, "Oh, we're in an open relationship," as if that's gonna make me go, "Oh, okay." No, fuck you. I want, like, that. This is what they got it wrong at. Like, I want a man of my own. I don't want to share my man with anybody. So I'm not going to get in a relationship with somebody that already got somebody that's already married or already in a relationship. Somebody that doesn't want to be with just one woman. I don't want that type of shit. I'm not into that. I'm not. So that, like, that had me fucked up. I was really like, no, he didn't. Like, after I said what I said, he really gonna ask me if he could meet up with me. Like, Nick, like, what do you mistake me as? The dick wasn't even that good for me to go back. Let's just be real with that. It's another thing. I would never do that again, ever. These men are just stupid. I swear to God, fucking stupid. But then again, like, who knows? Like, he probably has experienced some women that don't care that he has a girlfriend or a partner or whatever, and he thinks that's just how it's gonna be. Like, no. Some women might settle for that. That's not me. I don't. That's not my thing. Like, no. Mm-mm. Shoot, I'm just telling y'all the truth. Like, lesson learned. I could have kept my abstinence, child. I was on a good run. I was on a good world tour, not being affected nor bothered. But it is what it is. I'm grown. I'm gonna, you know, have that moment. But again, like, I can't go there with people unless I have some type of connection. And I feel like that's the only reason why I did it with him, like I said, because it was already a familiar space. We already done it before in the past. So it wasn't like, oh, it's just some random shit. But I I can't do one night stands. I can't um I'm not gonna say what I will never do because I don't know. Like, if I felt a connection with someone who knows, maybe that could happen. But I have to feel a connection to you. It can't just be, oh, he fine, oh, he attractive, oh, he is. No, it has to be something there, where I feel some sort of connectivity to you, if that makes sense. Like, it has to be something there. If not, then you know it's not gonna work. So, yeah, but these are my testimonies, y'all. Shit, like, I don't mind being transparent and open if that means it's gonna help somebody. Like, that's my truth. Like, people can take what they will with that. They can try to run with it, try to criticize it, demonize it, dissect it. But that is my truth. You know, I have rejected myself in the past before. I have been rejected in the past before. Um, But as opposed to where I am now and what I will and will not put up with, that has significantly shifted. because I will not do that ever again. I will never reject myself for another person's expense ever again. Never, ever, ever. You know, um, and just to trust myself more. But yes, y'all, I'm gonna leave it at that. We gonna figure out the Wildwood Tarot, who's going to be the happy home to this deck. And if you guys enjoyed this reading, um, go ahead and like, or not reading. Why I keep calling it reading? If you guys enjoyed this video, this discussion, um, yeah, much love to you guys. Don't forget to like it. Maybe share with someone you feel like may resonate, who you feel like it may help, because we're all human. We all go through shit. We've all experienced some level of rejection or self rejection, even. Um, but we're turning it around and we're looking at it very differently. Yeah, you're very welcome, sis. I appreciate you for sharing yours too. Thank you, Ashley. Everyone on the live, I appreciate y'all so much for stopping by, showing love. Thank you. And I will catch you guys in the next reading or next live, whatever we're going to do next. And until next time, peace.